the hardest job of the kitchen is?
Keeping his cookie jar full.
Keeping the cookie jar full. So today, we are going to show you how to make a delicious and very easy and quick oatmeal chocolate chip cookie recipe. So for the first step, we're going to start by taking 4 sticks or 2 cups of butter, and it should be softened, but usually I don't remember to take it out before, and so I either use it cold or just put it in the oven on warm for a couple minutes to soften up. Okay, are we ready to put it in the mixing bowl? So we're going to add 2 cups of butter to a large mixing bowl. 3. Oh, that's 4. Wait, no, that's 4. Alright, 4. And now we're going to add a cup of brown sugar, or we'll be using coconut sugar.
Can you put it in here?
Sure. And next we'll be putting in a half of a cup of raw cane sugar. So we're going to put this in the stand mixer, and I'm going to use this mixer attachment, and we're going to cream the butter and sugars together.
Can I?
Till they're light and fluffy, about 3 minutes. No, you can't. Oh, you want to turn the mixer on? Sure. Just gently. For this next step, we'll be adding 4 eggs to the butter and sugar mixture.
And can I pour it in?
Sure.
To the mix?
There you go. Go ahead. Go ahead. Hurry, before any more drips. Okay, good job. And now we're going to mix those eggs in. And don't worry about it if they don't mix in thoroughly. And don't worry. Got my assistant back. Alright. Don't worry if the eggs don't mix in too much. They don't. For the dry ingredients, we're going to add 3 cups of flour, a teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of baking powder, and 2 teaspoons of salt. Will you grind some salt?
Yes.
Good job. So a teaspoon of baking soda and a teaspoon of baking powder. And you could add some cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, different spices, but this is just basic and they taste great, so. Alright, now we're going to turn on the mixer. Alright, that's all. The recipe suggests mixing the dry ingredients in by hand, but the cookies turn out better and they're much easier if you just use the stand mixer. And lastly, we are going to add 5 cups of oats.
Can I pick the oats?
You may. So, I'm just using organic old-fashioned rolled oats.
Can I pour it in?
Yeah. 1.
Are we done?
Oh.
Are we done?
Yep. And now we're going to mix that up. Once again, the recipe says to mix this by hand, but it works in the mixer. It's only going to take a couple minutes. Okay. And now the dough is completely done. And now the recipe says to let it rest for 10 minutes. Sometimes I've forgotten and it still works fine. So during this time you can preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Alright. And this is about how it should look. The coloring's a little bit off because of the lights, but yeah. It's pretty sticky, but and while the dough is resting, I'm just getting the parchment paper laid out. And one trick I've found to getting the parchment paper to actually lay flat or go into any kind of dish is actually to crumple it. So if you crumple it, it lays out nice and flat. For scooping and shaping the cookies this time, I'm actually using a cookie scoop. I was given a set for Christmas and I've been having a lot of fun using them. One thing they're especially handy for is actually scooping muffin batter into muffin trays, which we do almost every morning. So they're really a time-saving tool with cookies and muffins and lots of other things. Also, another thing is I like to add about a cup of chocolate chips, any kind we have around, semi-sweet, milk chocolate, dark chocolate, any kind, to the dough. I mix those in by hand. So. And the recipe actually fills up this entire cookie jar with about a tray of cookies left over. So that's the recipe doubled. So, which is what I'm making now. Alright, ready to roll out some cookies?
Yes, can I have some too?
Also, I don't recommend using your hands to roll the cookies because it just melts the butter on the outside and it doesn't work quite as well. If you don't have a cookie scoop, just use like 2 spoons and you can use your hands. Gonna make an exception for Nathaniel because he's gonna roll out. Okay, and I've also found that it helps to kind of smush the cookies down a little bit so they're a little flatter. That's the word. And now we're going to put the tray in the oven and bake them for anywhere from 10 to 12 minutes, maybe 15 if you need to. They're going to look very underdone in the middle, but you'll see in a bit.
I'm rolling mine.
It now.
Hooray!
The cookies are ready. Alright.
Can I eat one?
Alright, make sure you stand back.
Can I eat one?
Yes you may as soon as they cool down.
That's
So, this is how the cookies should look. As you see, they're getting pretty golden brown around the edges. So nice and golden brown, but they're still really soft in the middle. And you would think, oh, they need a couple more minutes. But if you cook them for any longer, they will burn. Okay, so now we're gonna let those cool for about 5 minutes on the tray and then transfer them to a cooling rack. What happened? What happened?
We got the cookies out.
Yes, the cookies finally cooled down. All right.
And I'm going
Rebecca.
to eat him.
We're going to be using this as our cookie cooling rack.
Who's at them cooling?
Yep. We just want to let them thoroughly cool before storing them, because we want them to stay good. Okay.
Can I eat it?
Yes, you may. Or don't eat over the rest of the cookies. As you can see, they're still pretty soft, so that's another reason why we put them on the cooling rack, so that they are nice and crispy on the outside, so they don't bend over each other and mush together in the cookie jar. All right. How do they taste? Are they good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm just gonna break one open so that you can see the texture. They're very soft and chewy on the inside, and they're nice and crispy on the edges. So they're pretty much the perfect oatmeal cookie. If you have any tips or even any questions about anything that I did, don't hesitate to comment. We really appreciate and are encouraged by every single comment. So, thank you to everyone who has commented.
Can I have this one?
Okay. I may as well. Here. And also, as you saw, they don't have a lot of cane sugar in them, only a half a cup in the entire batch.
Oh.
So they're pretty healthy too.
Oh.
Yeah. And also,
Oh.
you can replace the chocolate chips with raisins to make them even more healthy.
Oh. And one time.
Thank you.
Yes.
You're feeding the camera. Feeding your audience. Take 3. This is a wonderful cookery. Take 4. This is a great cookie recipe for. Okay. They're quick, easy, and 100% delicious. But just one warning, they don't last long. Thank you for watching, and God bless. And if you have any suggestions or special requests on what we should make next, I'd love to hear it in the comments.